Hello, rejects and scrufftards. Welcome to the War Zone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And in this video, we will be taking a look at the Lynx and CV90-35 infantry fighting vehicles that have been promised to Ukraine. And make no mistake about it, these are some of the best armored fighting vehicles in the world at the moment. And there is nothing in the Russian arsenal that even compares to these vehicles. So yes, the Lynx and the CV90-35, both of these have been promised to Ukraine. Both of these are being produced as we speak for Ukraine and will enter into service in Ukraine later in 2024 if everything goes to plan. But more than likely, we can expect these on the battlefield in 2025, probably somewhere, well, a year from now, June, July, maybe later if there are hiccups along the way, which we should expect. But they are being produced for Ukraine. They will not arrive this year, I don't think this year, even if there are hopes that these may start popping up during the fall and winter of 2024. But I think we're going to have to wait until the summer of 2025 before we see these on the Ukrainian battlefields. So first off, we have the Lynx infantry fighting vehicle, German vehicle. It comes either with a 30 or 35 millimeter autocannon. It can have a anti-tank guided missile pod carrying 2 Spike long-range missiles, and it can be upgraded with several armor packages as well as active protective systems. And active protective systems, APS, that's essentially small turrets that open fire on incoming anti-tank weapons. So you need to saturate these vehicles with 3 or 4 anti-tank shots or RPGs, heat munitions, missiles, that sort of thing, in order to get past the active protective system and then score a hit. And also the turret is very modular, and you can attach various backup weapon systems, grenade launchers, 50 cal machine guns, drone pods and what have you. It's a very modern modular design, so you can equip it as you need, according to your needs, essentially. And state of the art includes all nifty gadgets that you can imagine, with some additional armor packages. This is a beast on the battlefield. And if we take a look what was reported in the Kyiv Independent just the other day here, or today even, June 17th, the German arms company Rheinmetall and the Ukrainian government agreed to begin production of the modern Lynx armored vehicle in Ukraine this year, 2024. And this has been confirmed by officials, by the looks of it, on the 12th of June. And take a look at this. The first such vehicle will be produced in Ukraine by the end of the year, right? And they intend to start producing Fuchs armored personnel carriers by late summer of 2024 and Lynx vehicles by late 2024, or 12 to 13 months after signing the contract. So these things, they're coming. Like I said, we can expect them in 2025. But these things, they're coming. It's happening. Ukraine will get state-of-the-art fighting vehicles. Next up, we have the CV90-35. As the name suggests, it has a 35 millimeter chain gun, and yeah, it has the option to have a ATGM pod, anti-tank guided missile. It also has the option to have active protection system, just like the Lynx. and it can be upgraded with several armor packages to make it more resilient to incoming fire. It's a Swedish vehicle, and what's interesting is that previous Swedish armored vehicles provided to Ukraine, such as the CV90, main battle tanks, the STRV-122, and the self-propelled artillery Archer, they have all been equipped with Barracuda camouflage. And this is a type of camouflage that reduces heat signature by 70%, as well as hiding the vehicle to a certain extent from radar and other stuff like that as well. But here's the thing. Will Ukraine receive the Dutch version of the CV90-35? Because take a look what BAE Systems, who owns the production of the CV90s in this day and age, what they released on the 21st of May this year. These new CV90-35 Mark III Charlie will extend the capabilities of both the Swedish and Ukrainian armies, right? And then they went on to say the new CV90-35 Mark III Charlie is built to the same standard as the newest CV90 midlife upgrade program for the Netherlands. The vehicles will be equipped with a new turret, which provides a leap forward in design and functionality. And the Dutch midlife upgrade CV90 includes anti-tank missiles, includes active protection system, right? And it also has shifted the location of the gun in the turret, which allows the vehicle to store even more ammunition. So if we go by what they're saying here, Ukraine will receive the Dutch version of the CV90-35, which is a beast of a vehicle. So yeah, state of the art, the Lynx and the CV90-35NL, as the Dutch version of the CV90 is called. And if we take a look here, what was reported in Dutch media. For example, the Netherlands will work with Denmark and Sweden to build infantry fighting vehicles for Ukraine. 400 million euros will go to a Swedish fund for the construction of these originally Swedish vehicles. Denmark previously opted for cooperation with the Swedes, and that cooperation is still ongoing. And the production of these CV90s, like we just mentioned, with this special Dutch turret and everything, largely comes to the Netherlands, right? Because the Dutch are going to be producing the Dutch turret. And take a look at this. 180 of the total 230 vehicles will be produced in the Netherlands. 230 state-of-the-art CV90 35 NL with the missiles, with the active protection system, and with all the high-tech modern gadgets within the vehicle. This is no joke. These two vehicles Russia will feel the presence of these vehicles, let's put it that way. And if we're wondering what these vehicles will provide to Ukraine, apart from a lot of firepower, we can actually take a look at the CV90 currently located in Moscow, the CV90 that was captured. It's an old version of the CV90 called in Swedish, it's called STRF 9040 Charlie. It's an older CV90 version, not at all anything close to the CV90-35, but it has an armor upgrade and some other additional equipment. But this vehicle is not at all as protected as a modern CV90-35 or a Lynx. So I think it's interesting to take a look at the CV90 in Moscow and the punishment it has received. So here we have the captured CV90 in the field before it was taken to Moscow. Take a look at this. 2 hits, left-hand side of the turret. clearly here and here. And here you have zoomed in on the hit right next to the gun. That's this hit. So you can see that this section here has taken a big hit as well, not just this one hit here, but the entire side of the turret has been pretty wrecked. And if we take a look on this end of the turret, take a look up here, what's that? Clear signs of a hit. And then if we move on here, the edge here, that is this hit right below the turret. This goes straight in towards the commander. These two hits are aimed straight at the gunner, by the way. The gunner is located right behind all of this. And this hit here, right straight at the commander. And that's the edge here. And then we can take a look up here. This is clearly another hit towards the turret, right? So, CV90, and here we can see two hits on the left side or the right side of the turret, looking in from the vehicle's perspective. So two hits here, and here we can see what it should look like when it's not destroyed. Quite clearly, it has taken a hit here, and then we have the hit right next to the gun. And then you have the hit here, located here on the left side of the turret. That one here, you can see the spalling. And then these two hits here, side of the vehicle, this one, and then the rear of the turret, right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits at this vehicle. The upgraded Charlie version of the STRF 9040. A vehicle not at all as protected as the CV9035 or the Lynx. And here is when it gets interesting, because this channel here, this is a pro-Russian propaganda channel. I will provide a link to this specific video down below, because this channel visits the CV90 located in Moscow. And they climb inside the CV90 and they show us detailed images, video images of the interior of the CV90 that was hit 5 times, as we just saw. They show video of the commander's position, the gunner's position, and the dismount section. No signs of internal damage is visible whatsoever anywhere. They move the camera around all over the vehicle within in the commander's position, the gunner's position, and back where the dismounts are located. You see no signs of damage anywhere. It is intact. The vehicle took all the punishment and nothing penetrated the armor. Remember, this is a vehicle that is not as heavily protected as the CV9035 or the Lynx. And it took all of that punishment and still nothing penetrated the armor. According to Ukraine, Russia tries to counter the presence of a CV90 with tanks. We know of one situation when Russia deployed 2 T-90 to counter 1 CV90, the best tanks in the Russian arsenal, and they still failed in defeating the CV90. CV90s are known to survive multiple drone hits as well. If Russia struggles this much with the old STRF 9040 Charlie, wait until the CV9035 and Lynx arrives. So while Russia receives golf carts and motorcycles and have to build cope cages out of scrap metal on their turtle tanks, a year from now, Ukraine will receive some serious armored fury. So hang in there, Ukraine, because the tables are about to turn. As always, go på marsch, Ukraine, give them hell.